Nerdrotic.com.
Hello. Hello, all you beautiful people out there. I come to you now at the turn of the tide. What a day! What a day! I don't know if it's a white pill moment. Yeah, sure it is. Just watching Blue Twitter completely lose their goddamn mind. It's great. We're going to go over that. We're going to talk about Spaceman buying what has been, over the last 4 years, one of the worst parts of social media, which, believe me, there's so many bad parts of it. There's some good parts, too. But it's a possibility that there might be a return to balance, because this social media platform has been used as not only a tool for division, to subvert a lot of things in this country. And like I said, if Elon bought it, great. If it crashes and burns, I would still say that might be a little better. But I'll take this. Twitter now belongs to Elon Musk. We'll see if things change. I worked for a company that was owned by Elon Musk. And despite the best attempts of a boss or a CEO, you're only as good as the people you hire and the people you have under you, the people working for you. And it's, Elon's a billionaire. We're all under Elon, I guess, when it comes to finances. But the enemy is always within. I think our last president found that out. The enemy is always within. So we'll see. Look what happened to Bob Chapek when he just wanted to stay out of one issue. It probably cost him his job, and Disney's well on its way down. A downward spiral that will take years to recover from, and it'll take years to complete, too. Let's be real about that. There's still plenty of people out there. Just watching what was trending, leave Twitter, misinformation, all that shit. And, man, isn't it strange that current President Obama, former President Obama, goes out and does a speech about misinformation. And all of a sudden, everybody's talking about misinformation and getting radicalized. It's like 2016 through 18 all over again. Yeah, they're trying the same old tricks that, quite frankly, worked for a long time. They're just not working anymore. Sorry to say, nothing works forever. I'm not sorry to say. I'm very happy to say it. Fuck off with those tricks. Let's see who's here. Okay. So obviously released a video we have been working on from conception to completion. It was 4 months because I had to do it through the move. Perry edited it for a month straight. It's supposed to be kind of our evergreen content as much as we can have it here. We'll see how it does. Tried something a little different. Hope you liked it. I had a lot of fun doing it. That's the whole point. So we could talk about the list a little bit. We can also talk about, I haven't really talked about watching the last episode of Moon Knight because it sucked, but we'll talk about that. Of course, female Thor. Every time you say that, you trigger an SJW, which is a good thing. So say female Thor as much as you want and whatever else. But let's get to the chat. I'm running on fumes today because we were trying to get that thing done by this morning at 10 a.m. Central, which is way before when I get up. And we were up late. Geek Grind. Thank God for Geek Grind. What's up, Mr. Grant Gregory, a member for 4 months. Hail, Gary, and I hope all is well. Oh, it just went up on me. Hang on. Got married last weekend. You did? I didn't even know you were engaged. Hey, congratulations to Mr. Grant Gregory. In your honor, sir, I watched, without knowing it, I watched The Hangover last night because it's great. It's great. It's a great film by Todd Phillips, director of The Joker. And they won't make them like that anymore. Maybe they will someday. What's up, Jeffried, 10-ton battle, Dan Woods, Liger fan, Marine Boy, Mazit Wazad, Andy, Winter GS, trans conservative waifu, wonton sombrero. Hey, there's some cultural appropriation there. And oh my God, Antibody et al. I can read. Channel Surf, Freddie York, United Against NPCs. Yes, we are. Keck 44, Caprellis Artware, and Dom TV 2010. Cacao and Cookies Minion. Did I say that right? Got to be careful. Branchu 8, Winter GS, Randomize. Let's go down here. Now you're famous. Of course you're famous, Marine Boy. What's up, Frack? What's up, the Front Porch Conservative and Steve? Stevie, like from Moon Knight, Stevie? Oh my, I need a girl to lead me around with my bad accent. With no Moon Knight in the Moon Knight show. I did the math. 11 minutes, 38 seconds of Moon Knight. That's Moon Knight and Mr. Knight. You take away Mr. Knight, half it. So you've gotten roughly 5 minutes of, I was only a minute off of my tweet. You got 5 minutes of costume character Moon Knight in 4 episodes of the Moon Knight show, including a whopping 30 seconds in the first episode and 0 seconds in the last episode. So the bulk of it was in the middle 2 episodes. And then Layla came. And she was just better. She's just better. Oh, my God. It's like Telemundo. It's like all streaming is like Telemundo, except not as good. Except, I didn't watch Breaking Bad. Or not Breaking. Oh, I didn't say Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul last night. I got to watch that later today. Good. I got something to watch. Okay. Let's get to Elon right away. We've got, I got an article queued up. Elon Musk clinches game-changing $44 billion Twitter acquisition. Billionaire, provocateur. Is he a provocateur? A little bit. That's fine. Elon Musk has sealed his acquisition on Twitter, leaving a major media platform in the hands of the impulsive head of 2 other companies, SpaceX and Tesla, which are run far better than Twitter has ever been run. Any social media giant corporation has ever been run by a guy who probably, I'm not going to say Elon is a wake and bake, but probably smokes 2 joints in the morning and maybe 2 joints at night. And then he runs his companies better than sober dipshits from Silicon Valley. I would say it's kind of impulsive to block the Babylon Bee or suspend them or remove a president of the United States. I would call that a little impulsive. Or block valid news that would have affected an election and in turn affecting an election? I would call that impulsive, or is it calculated? Is that what we want? Calculated little puppet masters doing the bidding of a Klaus Schwab. No, we don't. That's the answer. No, we don't. Musk and his backers are paying $54.20 per share in cash. Once the deal closes, Twitter will become a privately held company. Oh, if you don't want to be on the platform, just make your own. Okay. Wall Street appeared to initially hail the news, with Twitter shares up almost 6%. It's a lot higher than Disney shares, Netflix shares. Heading toward a closing bell. They have risen almost 30% since Musk formally came on the scene. I love how they're going, oh, it just rose 6%. And it's only rose 30%. But then when Disney goes down, it's like, it's only 5% and 30%. It's not a big deal. Musk formally came on the scene. Terms were reached today, less than 2 weeks after Musk revealed his initial $43 billion offer for the company. Although he described it as a best and final bid, the parties reportedly convened for talks over the weekend, with Twitter's board deciding the ultimate valuation was too great to resist. Yeah, it was too great to resist. Also, he probably worked out in some negotiations not to totally expose the board members for being a bunch of fucking morons. How many shares did they have? Like, not a lot. It was like a really low amount for board members. So one board member had 0.026% shares. The purchase raises a host of questions. Oh, are we going to get misinformation? God, I hope we get misinformation. I'm rooting for misinformation. And follows Twitter's enacting of a poison pill provision intended as a defense mechanism after Elon Musk's unsolicited offer surfaced. The measure is designed to flood the market with shares at the point that Musk's stake rises past 15% of the company, a consequence that would dilute his control and keep exiting Twitter shareholders, blah, blah, blah. We all knew that. Beyond the details directly associated with the acquisition, there are also broader questions about Twitter's strategy from here. Musk has described himself as a free speech absolutist and has voiced criticisms of Twitter's content moderation practices, inconsistent ones. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the inconsistency. The platform famously ejected former President Donald Trump, something you in the Access media celebrated, you pieces of shit. But you would be crying to high heaven if Biden was removed, and you'd be talking about threats to democracy after affixing a spate of warnings on his Twitter for promoting violence and anti-democratic ideas in the wake of the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Well, we got a January 6th mention, everybody. January 6th. Oh, my God, January 6th. What about the Summer of Love? 2020. What about the Summer of Love, where people died? Lots of people died. Not just that one young lady who was shot by a mysterious cop who we don't even know who he is. We don't even know if there was an investigation. Whatever. Founded in 2006 as an early social media player, forced initially on short text exchanges, Twitter has grown to 217 million daily active users, but its business model is under pressure. Yeah, because it doesn't make any money. It has relied primarily on advertising for its growth, but it scales less effectively than peers like Facebook, now Meta, or Snap Inc. or YouTube. Musk, among his other grumblings on Twitter, has taken aim at the company's ad-driven model, which he says encourages zombie accounts, bots, and other undesirable content. A private company, Twitter could presumably have more leeway to experiment with potential subscription models. Nope. And also welcome back Trump and others booted from the platform for what they have tweeted. Well, Babylon Bee needs to come back today. A lot of people need to come back today. Alex Jones needs to be back on Twitter now. I wish Az would get his original account back. Same with Jeremy. Because, it's like this. You know how when we were saying Captain Marvel's a bad movie, Last Jedi's a bad movie, and people would go to where they could voice their opinion, and all of a sudden it became Russian bots. Okay. Bots take time. In some cases, take resources. I don't know who would stand to gain from a movie failing financially. Or one of the theories was it was the Russian government trying to stabilize America through downvoting The Last Jedi. And yes, this is some of the insanity we read in the Access media. Or is it a company that's just projecting because they have the wherewithal, time, ability, and finances to create bots to boost their product that's shit? I'm just asking what's more likely, because they stand to gain a lot of money from it, a profit from it. So through all that projecting, I'm not saying bots don't exist. I'm just saying some people might be surprised who they belong to, who they are controlled by. Just a theory. That's all. It's just a film theory. The Twitter board conducted a thoughtful and comprehensive process to assess Elon's purpose. I think he's been pretty clear, with a deliberate focus on value, certainly, and financing. The company's independent board chair said in the official announcement of the deal, the proposed transaction, we will deliver a substantial cash premium, and we will believe it's the best path forward for Twitter's stockholders. Oh, man. I hope there's I hope a bunch of people quit. Well, they don't go into work anymore. That big, expensive Twitter building in downtown San Francisco where people are pooping in front of the doorway is still, for some reason, worth a lot of money. Not really sure why, but yeah. Free speech is a bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated, Musk said. I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans. Twitter has this fucking article keeps bouncing on me. Tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it. I fucking hate that word. Well, hey, good for Elon. That's great. That's fantastic. And that's a win. I think it's a win. I won't say a win. Well, yeah, we could say a win in the battle for free speech. And take them where you can get them, folks. Really, it's been pretty incredible. And it's been a series of events. And if you see, all things are connected. Yeah, I saw one. I won't name him. I follow him. I like him. Think he's a good dude. But I used to hear this a lot a few years ago. All right. They said something to the effect of, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and all this Hollywood stuff is a distraction. Pay attention to what's important. I would say pay attention as much as you humanly can, because it's all important. So Johnny Depp and Amber Heard might not seem important, except it might be a step in the direction of a woman can just say shit and a dude goes to jail or loses his career. It might be a good step in, I don't know, innocent before proven guilty. That would be good. That's a big picture thing. That's a huge big picture thing. The Will Smith slap prior to this, and then seeing Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's behavior or hearing it in their recording, it's a blow to Hollywood. It's a massive blow to Hollywood. We're past the era of the movie star, and this is partially why. And then we can get past their sphere of influence. You go to Amber Heard's Twitter. I think the first thing, at least it used to say it. I don't go there much, and I don't care much. But the first thing it says in her bio is activist, not actor. That I see that with a lot of quote unquote adult pretenders or actors in Hollywood because they need meaning in their life. But when you spout stupid shit and you are the one accusing people of misinformation, like I said, it's generally projection. The misinformer loves to accuse people of spreading misinformation. It's for you to decide, by the way. It's for you to decide. So I see wins for the individual, right? I really do feel like things are turning around. It's not going to happen quick. This is an institution. This woke Hollywood, woke big tech institution. It's going to take a lot to rip it out by the roots. And I don't know if we'll all the way I don't think we're all the way do it, but I think we can at least get to some balance. It ebbs and flows. It ebbs and flows, but we've been out of balance, out of whack, especially in entertainment and in culture for years now. To the point where a dude does a historical movie about Vikings, and the Daily Mail gaslighting article puts out saying that the white supremacists have what did they hijacked it? I don't know. I didn't see any when I was in the theater. I saw a nice old couple sitting in front of us. I don't think they were white supremacists. Well, shit, I'm an old couple. Older couple, we'll say. But yeah, I'll talk. By the way, I'll probably do a quick review, but we'll talk about it here. We'll talk about Moon Knight. Let's see how the Meltdown's going here real quick. I did tons of preparing for this show. I turned on the camera. I forgot to share my damn live stream on Twitter, but I'll remember to do that later. Oh, poor Ryan. Yeah, I agree with Count Dankula. He says that's a pretty big white pill. Ryan's internet broke. Get fiber, baby. I'm in a thunderstorm right now. I'm in a massive thunderstorm. I'm surprised you can't hear it. Hail, all kinds of shit. No problems so far. But yes. That was kind of funny. Black Twitter is trending, and misinformation is still trending. Donald Trump held contempt for not complying with New York's subpoena. Of course, they're trying to salt the earth before they get out of here. Oh, God. Let's see what Black Twitter's got to say about this. I just bought Black Twitter, says Aaron Berg. Ah, that was a good one. Clifton Duncan says it best. Try as I might, I just can't bring myself to be upset that the most annoying fucking people are currently promising to leave Twitter. And Brittany Venti 425, never forget, hashtag never forget. Twitter just had its January 6th moment. Jack is always showing me how bad Star Trek is. Jack Beers, he's all over Star Trek. He's great, by the way. Give him a follow. Quarter Black. Here we go from the man himself. Yes, free speech is we read that already. Free speech is a bedrock of a functioning federal republic. There's my boy George. Eric July. A deal may have been struck as Elon Musk's final offer is put before the Twitter shareholders. Whether you trust him or not is irrelevant. Leftists are in panic mode at the thought of losing their grip on social media narrative control. We love Eric July. Oh my. Yeah, I better be careful. I follow like Kendi Taylor. And, sometimes I'm just scrolling through. I go, God damn. Sorry. I told I was going to try to simmer down on the taking the Lord name in vain. But, man, you got to watch out when you follow freaking porn stars. Oh, I don't know how crazy I am about. Looks like memes are back on the menu, boys. It's glorious. Okay, I want to go up to, there's Twitter Blue is trending. Let's see what that is. I thought it was blue Twitter. Or Twitter is blue. Oh, RIP Twitter was fun. Canceling my Twitter account now. Bye, Felicia. Bye-bye. Oh, my God. People still have the derangement, man. That's so nuts. Guy's not even president anymore. It's all they can fucking talk about. In the meantime, our current president just pooped his pants. So, forgot where he was. That's great. So, yes. It's beautiful. It's glorious. And that's going to go on all day. It might be probably one of the best days you've ever had on Twitter, which aren't many, to be honest with you. So, we'll see what happens. Tesla was the best job I ever rage quit. There's a lot of reasons I rage quit. It wasn't Elon's fault. The benefits were great. The pay was great. Coworkers were pretty cool. The techs were a little soft though. Little light in the loafers, those techs. A lot of whiny ass techs, auto techs, had to deal with. Because I'm from the old school, man. So like me and a tech will go out back and scream at each other and say shit about each other's mother and then go to lunch a couple of hours later. That's just how it was. Man, you even scowl at somebody and they're breaking apart. Yeah, that part sucked. I just didn't like my hippie surfer ponytail manager very much. Plus this YouTube thing was happening and I just wanted to make sure I never worked for a corporation again. Like I'm just going to freaking light the bridge on fire. And if I have to find another job, then I'll sell hot dogs or something. I don't know. I'm not corporate material. But like Elon tried to make a very cool place. Like they'd stop everything and we watched the launches and that was fucking cool. The technology was cool. Very cool. Except for the whole Neuralink thing. Don't do it. No. Maybe for you youngsters, but no. Plus, how do I know that like dropping multiple hits of acid in the 80s won't have a side effect on a neural link and I'll just go on a trip, or maybe I'm on a trip that I've never come back from. I don't even know. I don't even know if you're real, to be honest with you. I could still be sitting in that playground in La Costa tripping balls on some forepain. Oh. So let's get to you guys a little bit, and we'll talk about the list. Entertainment news kind of light today. There is some big news coming. That's all I'll say. Man of War 665, the neighbor of the beast. Congrats on the Twitter news, folks. But I'm still not using, as Eric July would say, that dog shit. I mean, that's what we talk about with the franchises. Like, even if they get fixed, right? Russell T. Davies comes in and fixes Doctor Who. George Lucas takes over Star Wars again. Somebody with a brain takes over Star Trek. You're not going to get all of your audience back. You're just not. But I think it's good for the country. I think it's good for freedom, and it's good for the country. So, yeah, don't blame me for not coming back. Why? Like, why? Exactly 8 years prior to today, Disney crapped the EU as Legends. And, was that 8 years today? They canceled the extended universe. F's in the chat for the extended universe. May it rest in peace. And what a sad day it was. Your video today made it even sadder. Oh, I'm sorry. But then again, it is this controversy, the ST and you guys, that made me jump into it. Did you read Dark Sith from the EU, Gary? The only EU stuff I read was the Dark Horse comics. So I read a lot of Dark Horse comics. Tales of the Jedi. One of my favorites was Star Wars Infinities, which was like a what if Star Wars. But yeah, all the Dark Horse stuff I read. It's very good. I know some EU fans don't like Dark Empire. I fucking love Dark Empire. That is my 7, 8, and 9. That's my 7, 8, and 9. I read the Zahn books too when they came out. Couldn't believe it when I saw them on the shelf. I was in a Walden Books, pretty loaded, and there I saw a Star Wars book, and I'm all, what? I even paid for it, which I didn't do very much back then. It's not good. It's fucking wrong, by the way. Stealing's wrong. But horror. Damn you for $1. Thank you for the $1 donation. And rest in peace, EU. I remember hearing the news. God, it was 8 years ago. And like nobody was fine with it except for the shills were like, this'll be better for Disney to tell their own stories and they can pluck for them at you and they'll probably be better. Remember that shit? They'll probably be better. How'd that fucking age? You know why they wrote a lot of EU books? Because they were successful. They were very successful. They sold copies. They made them money. If they didn't, they wouldn't have made so many. And despite I give the prequels respect in my video. I do. Despite as time has played out, they were divisive at the time, but they clearly captured another generation of kids. Like, that is without question. How many people do we talk to now? I saw the, Revenge of the Sith when I was 8, 9, 10. So it worked. Could have kept this shit going forever. And Disney just put an expiration date on it. Now, and I said this in my Rise of Skywalker review, it will just be a category on Disney Plus. That's all Star Wars. Star Wars is just a little box on your Disney Plus subscription that you're probably not subscribed to. Swarm 069 for 10 Canadian pesos. Thank you. Sorry, Gina. Didn't mean to hit you in the ass. That was completely accidental. Hey, Gary, here's a few buckaroos. Thank you. To keep you from the hot dog stand. But if not, I take mine with mustard and ketchup. That's right. I love hot dogs. I'd sell hot dogs. I'd make really freaking good hot dogs. It's hard to fuck up hot dogs. Did you know like corn dogs aren't a thing in the UK? Or at least they aren't to the 2 UK guys I talk to. Corn dogs aren't a thing over there? Really? I think you guys would love it. You love your fried stuff. Deep fried stuff. There was a short trucker protest in Glendale on Friday. What? My former place of living, Glendale. It was on the 5 freeway just south of the 134. Pretty clever choice of location, in my opinion. Oh, Brown Gaijin for $5. That's a great choice because it would fuck traffic for hours. Hours and I mean, traffic is pretty fucked there anyway. That's Burbank. That's right where Disney is, and Warner Brothers. Both the studios are in that area. Technicolor I don't know if the building's still there. It was on Hollywood Way, just across from John Wayne Airport and the Del Taco, which unfortunately was the only place open at 3 a.m. when I get hungry in my night shift. And that cheese did not look real. I'm just saying. It was a long time ago. Hopefully it's all out of my system. Shadow Chaser for $4.99. The best thing that can happen now is for Elon to shut down Twitter entirely. Twitter is poison. I agree with that. That would be he ain't gonna do it, but God, that would be funny. Okay, he's talking about free speech is the bedrock of our society. So today, I shut Twitter down. Thank you. That'd be great. Best name I could think of for $19.99. Thank you very much. Hail Gary, just got my tax refund. I'm gonna tell you what my dad was a lifelong CPA. And every time I said, Dad, I got my tax refund, he's all, you just loaned the government a bunch of money without interest. That's what he did. But I'm glad you got it. And thought you earned some of, well, thank you. If you are looking for a good book to try, I recommend The King of the Wild, and that's spelled with a W, by Nicholas Eames. It's a great mix of fantasy, humor, and bad arsery. All the best. All the best to you. I'll check it out. Thank you very much. Having a good day, says George Orwell for $20. Oh, excellent. George Orwell is having a good day. That means we're having a good day. Modalicious for $2. I'm going to leave. Oh, yeah. No balls. Hey, I'm glad I didn't. But frankly, I wouldn't be on it if it wasn't for the channel. If you guys haven't noticed, I've been on Twitter since 2008. And I was on it a lot in 2008 and 2009, and a little bit in 2010 for the comic shop. Then it just got boring. So I didn't use it. And what happened was like every one of my Facebook posts would automatically go to Twitter. And that's all it was for years. Years and years and years. But yeah, Modalicious. I still got balls. They fall asleep occasionally from 8-hour live streams, but otherwise they're still functional, as far as I know. Thank you, Modalicious. James Bursey for $5 says, Gary, have you been to Torchy's Taco yet? No, I have not. Try the Republican, 500 calories. Also, did you remember your prune juice today? No, but I had my fasting shake in the morning because I'm fasting for the next month. So I don't get to eat hot dogs. but I get to eat other stuff. Get Billow for £2 What about Frost as the new Doctor Who, Gary? Well, she probably would have been the pick if BBC was still in charge. Happy belated 20th anniversary to G4. Sorry you didn't make it. Do check out Attack of the Dock, which is Chris Gore's documentary on G4 that G4 will not acknowledge. They won't acknowledge him. I doubt they even acknowledge their anniversary because they don't exist anymore. Chris Gore will be joining us Wednesday. He'll be joining us Wednesday, along with probably Quarter Black too. I extended an invitation to Quarterback Black, but he's got housework to do. Lionel Hutz from The Simpsons. Can you imagine Twitter with no SJWs? Cue the world in peace and harmony. The Clan Lions for 10 euros. I agree. Love leftist meltdowns. Drinking my frozen latte while they they sit in the corner. G Game Master 16 for $5. Yes. Well, they're losing power, and they have been losing power, and they're going to start losing power in other areas. Okay, so I was talking about the progression of like what's gone down over the last month. Will Smith slap, Johnny Depp behavior, hurts Hollywood. Netflix loses 30%, hurts Hollywood. Disney has been going down for a year, just like we said it has. Hurts Hollywood. Turns out Cuties did hurt Netflix. Wow, we have been right a lot, and that is a we. That is a we. So many of you out there who practice common sense could just figure basic shit out like, wow, sexualizing children. That's wrong. Don't do that. That's the line. If you can't stay behind that line, I got a wall for you. Oh, nuanced arguments. And what about their fuck it, wall. Somebody who's addicted to drugs, has done some bad things, wants to clean up their life. Yeah, got all the time in the world for him. Anybody who wants to rehabilitate. There's just a couple of things. There's a couple of things where it's like, next time around, bud. Or lady. Ladies do it just as much, by the way. Just as much. They just get off because they ladies. And before any ladies get mad, it's fact. Ladies don't get sentenced to as much time as men do. That's a fact. I love medieval history and pagan mythos, so I can't wait to see the Northman. You're going to love it then. I'm also interested to see where things go with Elon Musk and Twitter. I am more than interested. I agree. Cool video 101. It is something worth paying very close attention to. And it's going to be interesting how it plays out over the next couple of weeks, for sure. Thank you for the $5. Yeah, the Northman. The Northman, I would say, I talked about it on Friday Night Tights, but I would equate it to, it really felt tonally like Excalibur. It did. Not as big of a movie as Excalibur was. And to me, Excalibur was the greatest fantasy movie ever made until Lord of the Rings came out. It's a freaking fantastic movie. Great soundtrack, great director, great performances. Everything's great in it. The whole style of that movie is just badass. But this movie has the things that I like in a film, right? That we used to get a lot. Artistic style, cool artistic style, what felt like authenticity and a very visceral feeling, but it's a mythical tale, or it's a historical / mythical tale that is not afraid to get a little mystical with it. And I thought that shit was great. And what this movie shows, and I don't know, I'm not going to speak for Robert Eggers, but I'll speak for everybody. For I'll speak for individualism, right? So when I don't automatically, a person is a hive mind, okay? And I meet a gay person, I just don't automatically think they believe in all the same things as everybody else and they think lockstep. It's just not how I roll. I judge a person individually. It's often said, the overcorrection, right? Because, hey, there's something that led us here, right? With the woke stuff. I would call it a massive overcorrection to something that was just happening naturally to begin with, which was just change. Change happens all the time. That's why it's called change. We're going through it right now. We'll see how they deal with it. And hopefully we evolve, right? But that was a culture. The Northman was about a specific culture. It's a Danish myth, right? So takes place in Iceland. They're very different from the people from the UK. They're very different from people from Eastern Europe. It's this fact that we don't have culture, which is just utter bullshit. And the way this movie's getting attacked unfairly for just being a movie and being unapologetic, dude, our hero does some horrible fucking things. Horrible things. And they're just presented, this is what we did. And while one of my, I guess, I don't know if I want to say favorite parts, but there's a brutal thing going on, right? I won't say what it is, but there's a brutal thing. And then there's groups of Vikings like standing up against the wall like they're around the water cooler talking as this brutal thing is going down. Like, this is just another day in the week for the berserkers. And that's the way it was. His father, the king, wasn't an angel, but that's just we're presenting it the way it was back then. That's all. It's a historical thing, and it really does it very neutrally, and it's really fucking cool. It's more of a journey film than it's not like Gladiator. It's not filled with battles. It's not like Gladiator. It's not like Lord of the Rings. It's not filled with a bunch of battles. It's a very small film that takes place in a specific area, and it's completely held up by its aesthetics, its performances, its writing. You know, the shit that makes film good. Doesn't preach to you. It's not going to be for everybody because it's not the fastest moving movie, although I think it's paced perfectly. I really do. Tons of symbolism in it. And I think, if we see a return of stuff like this, that would be great. I don't know if it's going to make enough money to, I have no idea, but I liked it. And I think it'll have staying power. I think it's the kind of movie that it'll be an evergreen film. You know, it might not make all the money up front in its box office, but what it will do is perform well over time. Like, people will continue to watch it once in a while. But it's not going to be like, you can flip on The Hangover pretty much whenever you want, or Caddyshack, or or Star Wars, or Raiders of the Lost Ark. But there's certain movies but you can't, you got to be in a mood for, You got to be in a mood for. And I think this would be one of those films. But fantastic. Is it perfect? No, but I give it. I don't know. I don't give scores. I just say go see it in the theater if you got a chance. If you like history and these kind of films, it's violent. Now, maybe I've seen worse violence. It's violent, but I've seen worse. Much, much worse. But definitely a thumbs up. I'm now a fan of this director. And I love how he was asked specifically, are you going to do any films set in current day? And he's like, no. And that might be the safest way. Well, you would think, unless you're making something for the BBC or Netflix. It might be the safest. You could just do a period piece so you can get some authenticity. I don't know. And while we're striving for authenticity and authentic voices, nothing is authentic from Hollywood. They should strike that word from, it's not something they even conceive. They're not even authentic to each other. I saw Sydney Watson tweet, like, is this normal? And she was talking about, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard recording their phone calls. No, that's not normal. Recording people is not normal. That's abnormal. That means you have no trust, meaning you have no relationship. It doesn't exist. You might be living with somebody and having sex with them, but you're not in a relationship. No, you don't even do that to friends because it means you don't trust them. And if they find out you're doing that, they're not going to trust you either. See, that's what it's all based on, is trust, this thing called trust. No, if you're recording, there's something incredibly wrong with you and you need help. Both of them, by the way. And they felt the need to do that. Well, Johnny was probably trying to protect his career. And how messed up must that be? I mean, that's why, like, I'm just happy I got married when I did. But, like, put yourself in a big movie star's shoes. I know it's really tough. They're very small, by the way, usually. I wouldn't get married. You'd never know. You'd never know. And then you'd have to record phone conversations. Screw that. No way. Mad, is that true? Twitter stock has been halted. The official purchase is underway, says MadCat151 for $5. Let's check that out. I mean, I'll talk. Twitter's like a big subject today, but I'm like breaking down stock and stuff like that. I'll put myself to sleep. It's at 51.79. It looks like it's still going after hours, but it might have been halted during the purchase, which would make sense. Although I know dick about that stuff. So, but thank you. And it's a beautiful thing. I appreciate it. MadCat15. Thank you for the $5. Hope you have a great day. Cool video 101. Thanks again for the super chat of $5. Mr. Grant Gregory for $5 Australian dollars. Could you give a shout out to a bunch of YouTubers? No, of course I can. Mad Mardigan, Culture Casino, YetiCast, Barber, Kip, and Mad Barber Boys. Mr. Grant Gregory is giving you a shout out. And I am too. For $5 Australian dollars. Love Culture, man. Culture's a good dude. We had dinner here recently in San Antonio, which was the one and only time I've been out to dinner. I've been going out more, a little bit more. Got to get this office done. You don't even know how, like, it looks okay right now. You can't see over there. You can't see over there or over there. Yeah, it's Tetris. It's like the worst form of Tetris. I am never doing this again. This is it. This is it with the studio. Oh my God. But yeah, I've got a table behind me that I put everything on, and then I put it on the shelf, and then I put some more stuff on it. Then I take the boxes and I put them in the attic, which is pretty cool. I got like little attic spaces on each side of me. Which it sounded like baseballs were hitting my roof earlier, and it was only like hail that big. JS Pena, speaking of The Hangover, if you, as in Mahler, were in a similar situation, how would you guys handle the situation differently than Charles in the film? If I still drank and did drugs, I don't know. I think it would probably end up very similarly. And I would lead Az and Mahler into just horrible, horrible trouble. I would be the troublemaker. I would be a mix of, oh my God, what's Bradley Cooper's character's name? I just watched the whole damn movie too. And Zach Galifianakis, Snuffleupagus' character mixed into one. No conscience and looking for dope. That's what I'd be doing. Yeah, it would probably end up. The only difference would be Az and Mahler would be bailing me out of a foreign prison somewhere, or not, or just leave me behind. If Elon Buy goes through with Twitter, I think he should reduce all tweets to one word for a week and then shut it down. Randomize for 49. That'd be good. That'd be good. That's what I usually reduce my thumbnails to, so I'd have a lot of fun with that. Geek Bro for $1.99. Have a great week, everyone. Hail, you too. It's a really good way to start out the week. So, yeah, I released a video this morning that we've been working on a long time. It's based on a tweet I put up that got written up in a couple of news outlets. I think the Daily Mail was one, and can't remember the other. It was when all the He-Man kerfuffle was going on, and I just put up like, these are there was the murdered franchises I could think of at the time. I have since changed the list a little bit since then, but I was like, man, that's probably a good idea for video. We should file that away for something. And we finally did it. We have a couple more ideas like that. But we got other stuff to do. But it was sad. What got me was Perry with the Doctor Who segment, that opening right there. Ooh, my God, that's good. That's all Perry. That was so fucking good. But I wanted to see like how we did with without me being on screen. Now I don't care if I'm on screen or not. It's fine either way. I'm not gonna like abandon it completely. There's no chance of that. But trying something a little different. And thanks to you guys, we're in the position to like do that once in a while. Try something a little different. And I plan to do that a lot more. The more we get settled. And I really thank everybody. We did a premiere, which I rarely do. Well, no, I've never done it. That's my first time. And I don't know if I'll do it again, but it was fun. It was fun being in the chat, watching everybody react to it. That was pretty cool. So thanks. Thanks everyone who's seen the video. And it's got a lot of comments already. So that's good. We weren't sure how YouTube was going to feel about like the word murdered in the title. I'm like, fuck it. Let's just stick with it. Because I thought about doomed or destroyed. I'm like, no, they've been murdered. They've been murdered. Murdered by greed, corporate greed, wokeism, identity politics, activism. It's all wrapped up in one. And, that's the one thing you'll see the access media just dance around to this day. What could have gone wrong with Doctor Who? Bleeding Cool thought it should have been more woke. And that's when they don't have an argument. That's when you start like, I know you are, but what am I? That's the kind of shit that the access media is reduced to now. Like calling us soy, which is, dude, you just had a big heaping cup of fucking soy milk before you called me soy. Something I don't touch. So like, that's whatever, by the way. It's funny. Okay, just tell me why the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker is good. Tell me your favorite episode, why it's a classic over other episodes, over Blink, City of Death. Tell me, explain to me in detail. Oh, you can't because they suck. So when they finally admit that they suck, which is what they're going through now, going through the copium, they dance around the biggest factor. Like, Well, it wasn't necessarily because it was woke. That's their foundation. So it does fuck with everything they do. Even if it's an episode that doesn't have any outright woke stuff in it, it was the initial decision to cast the fucking doctor and write her the way they do. That poisons the rest. And it's their decision to do what they did with Luke Skywalker in Star Wars that poisoned the whole Disney trilogy, and Han and Leia. Kurtzman just sucks. He's terrible. Game of Thrones was a different one. Game of Thrones was one that was like really fucking good through 3 3/4 of a season. And then it went downhill for a lot of reasons, not entirely because it was woke, but that certainly affected it towards the end. Absolutely affected it. I could have made that thing 3 hours long with all the clips I have. There's one clip where Dan and Dave are talking about the reason they killed Doran Martell was because basically they wanted an all-women war room for an opening scene in season 6. Season 6 or 7. Shit like that. Like lying about like, oh, we had the Arya planned all of. No, they came out and said, no, that was a last minute decision. We just felt like John was too obvious. So we wanted to subvert expectations. These are things they have said. They went to my home state here now, because I live here, of Texas, and admitted that they didn't know what they were doing. They were learning on the fly. See, all this shit comes out because usually if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. You're not crazy. And a lot of times it's worse. It's worse. But that was a lot of fun to make. Loved your 5 list, Gary. I live not far from at least someone is speaking for us plebs from not far from Arizona. Dan Platts. It's 2 British pounds. Somewhere in the UK. Yes. You're not a pleb for one. Number one, you're not a pleb. What we're dealing with is mental plebs, and it's not you, it's them. And we are just simply a conduit. We are just fellow fans here. And thank you for the 10 British pounds. That's proper money. Joey Bryant for $1.99. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Nothing to say there. Oh, that's right. New Zealand. I sit corrected. The British American from New Zealand. Twitter is free. Hail, Twitter is free. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Can you say retarded on it now without getting instantly banned? I'll put that to the test in a little bit. I imagine there has to be some transition, for lack of a better word, that needs to happen. All hail Nerdrotic. Or it says, hail Nerdrotic. All hail meme lord Musk. Says the Donut King for $2. I second that. All hail meme lord Musk. The fact that there's a billionaire who even understands memes is kind of fucking cool. The Grizzly for $10. If you're looking for a good thing to watch, I suggest SCP Overlord. They have a few episodes and they are really cool. It's called SCP Overlord. Okay. I will definitely check that out. The Grizzly. Thank you for the $10. Robert Diaz for $9.99. Just went out and bought Unfinished Tales. Yes, Lord of the Rings trilogy, Silmarillion, and Histories of Middle-earth. But you didn't buy those nasty fucking Amazon Lotterop covers, I'm sure. I'll be busy reading those and not watching The Rings of Power, Return of the King. Yeah. So far, of the characters that they have talked about openly, 5 are original. 5. We've got Theo, Bronwyn, fucking dude on the raft. I forgot his name. Black Sylvan Elf, Girl Hobbit. 5 characters. We know their faces. We know who they are. We know what they look like. Haven't seen any sign of Celeborn. Not a single sign of him. And we did see Gil-galad. But we should be seeing Gil-galad like all the fucking time. Zero problems with Galadriel being the centerpiece. That makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. But there are some dudes that it seems like they're just going to minimize. Cured in the Shipwright. Gil-galad, we'll see how prominent he is. He should be pretty fucking prominent. And Celeborn, who I am starting to suspect, and this is just me speculating, ain't going to be in the fucking show. Like, how could you not? Or if he is, he'll be like Galadriel's man maiden. I just made that up. It'll be the man maiden's tale in Lotterop. Woke storytelling is the easiest thing to predict in the fucking world. Because if you've seen about as many as I have, you see everything just repeat. And that's all Marvel does. Marvel just, like with Moon Knight, they just couldn't have a show with two male adversaries going after each other. Like that's the whole, they should center the whole damn show around Moon Knight and Arthur. That's it. There should be some, bit players here and there, but that's who you got 6 episodes. That's who you center it on. So you can introduce your superhero Moon Knight. But instead, we know way too much about Stevie and Layla. And the gods are dumb. The Egyptian gods are dumb. So I don't know how much respect that's showing Egyptian culture. Something I'm into, by the way. Really into. But yeah, we just see this repeat. So like the cultural tide is turning. I don't know what we're going to have left. And that's kind of what a lot of us thought. Like, yeah, this will eventually be over. We will win, but the things we loved before will be in ashes. And, something else will come out of it. It will. It'll be interesting to see what that is. But Hollywood needs massive, massive failures. So the reason Marvel did not make the list, the reason Lord of the Rings, they were going to get a mention. We didn't have time. We actually had, that's on the cutting room floor. They got a mention, but it was on the cutting room floor. Something for another day. Plus, I just did a video on Marvel, and I will be doing a Lord of the Rings video. Yeah, next week, maybe. So basically, we could have gone into aborted franchises or self-deleted franchises. But Marvel is in, it's a destruction in process. It's a destruction in process that I have little doubt will have to go on an updated list in a year or two. But Marvel does still need, and it had one. Arguably, it had 3, but it had the COVID cover, okay? It's not going to have that anymore. But the Eternals, I'm sure it lost them money. I don't know what funny math they did, but I'm sure it lost them money. Black Widow lost them money. Shang-Chi lost them money because they posted a loss of $65 million when those first 2 movies came out. So that's a loss. That is a loss. Also, these are the big heavy hitters coming out. Doctor Strange, I'm sure Doctor Strange is going to make all the money. Now, I don't think it's going to do as well as No Way Home, because and that's not fair. Okay, No Way Home did phenomenal, because it's a fun movie. It's Thor: Love and Thunder that I wonder about. I did not mean that to rhyme. I did not. I saw people saying flop. I don't know if I'd go. I wouldn't go that far. Taika Waititi's got a lot of cred with the normies, but not as good as Thor Ragnarok. I think that is very realistic, that it's not going to do as well as Thor Ragnarok, even if with Guardians of the Galaxy being in the first 10 minutes. Female Thor will lead Thor around. And the fact that they're calling her Thor is freaking retarded, by the way. And it has been. But Marvel still needs like that massive, massive flop. Now, maybe it's happened. We don't know what the viewing numbers. They came out today and said Moon Knight got 275 impressions. What the fuck is an impression? Are you talking about the impressions that we get here on YouTube? So 275,000 people on a platform with 100 million subscribers clicked on Moon Knight. Did they watch it all the way through? Did they watch it for a half an hour? Now that's all based on the Roku shit, right? Which is a small percentage. But, well, I won't say small, but it's not like half. Most people are watching it on their desktop or whatever. Or their, I don't know. People still have iPads. I don't have a pad. I question that. I think the flops have already happened, because if Hawkeye had been watched by 10 million people per episode, you bet your fucking ass there would have been a season 2. Same goes for every other TV show on that streaming service. If it got 10 million people watching per episode live, and they can watch these numbers, there would be a second season. Oh, it's all part of our plan. You mean the plan you don't have? The plan that Joe Russo just said you don't have. That they're making shit up on the fly. That's why it feels inconsistent, because it is. And as our good friend Mahler and Rag said on EFAB yesterday, because I was listening, or Saturday, so I was listening all day. Loki fundamentally breaks the Marvel Cinematic Universe into pieces. So I don't know if Multiverse of Madness is going to clean it up. I highly doubt it. But it breaks it into pieces because there's no free will. There was none. So during the successful era of the MCU, it was all part of Kang's plan. And Kang, somehow this human with technology, is smarter than Egyptian gods, Celestials, Eternals, who didn't do shit during this whole... It doesn't make sense. It's dumb. Loki did get a season 2 because it's connected to all this multiverse stuff. And I won't argue that people watched Loki, but Loki was absolutely the worst fucking show because of the damage it caused to the MCU. Damage to Loki's character, damage it caused to the entire MCU that they don't give a shit about. WandaVision, no season 2. Falcon and Winter Soldier, no season 2. Hawkeye, no season 2. By the way, the showrunner from Loki, not returning. Was not fired. Walked away from it. So this up-and-coming person who was not running the show, but she was the director, doesn't want anything to do with it anymore. That's a common theme behind Disney Plus stuff. Pretty interesting, I think. Rich S., thank you for the $1.99. I appreciate it. Chef Nick Nero says, Gary, just watched Grimm. Was wondering if you've ever seen it. Loved The Great Writing was wondering if you've... I have not seen Grimm. I was going to start seeing Grimm for the channel, and we just didn't. And it was because I was working. So there was only so much stuff I could watch. But maybe I don't know. Did Grimm turn woke, though? Because it's right around the time. But thank you. Thank you, Chef. I can't read this name, but it's 60 shekels. So thank you for the 60 shekels. There's no way I could read that name. It's in Hebrew. Norik Masefsian. Boy, I messed up that last name. For $1.99. First time super chat. The culture war is about to turn. I agree with that. I think it's been turning. Yeah, you know, it's turning around. I wonder what would have happened if we just had black-pilled everything and moved on. You think it would have changed anyway? No. Why are you talking about it? You're just bringing attention to this. Yes. That's the point. Let the blue checkmark meltdown commence, says the Uber Geek. The two British pounds. And then Cal G for $2 says, Godspeed, Gary. Godspeed to you. God fucking speed. I'm checking the meltdown real quick. Un momento. Let's see. RIP Twitter is now trending. Oh, I'm so sad. Twitter HQ is trending. Let's look. It's so sad. Oh, there's so many upset people right now. That's always one of my favorites right there. Oh. Yeah, I wonder how soon the Babylon Bee comes back. That's probably one of the first, I think. Probably one of the first. Let's see RIP Twitter. Oh, there's Razor Fist. Remember RIP Twitter Spurg, the censorious policies Twitter embraced to get one guy out of the White House are a big reason why they're even financially vulnerable enough to be susceptible to a takeover. Policies you applauded and defended. It's your bed. Have a lie fucking down. Razor Fist. Yep. I'm not seeing a lot of sympathy from anybody. I'm so not disappointed by that. Oh boy. Hunty. That sums up today. That sums up today right there. You get what you fucking deserve, Twitter. I wonder what kind of reverberating effect this will have on other social media. I doubt it will have any effect on YouTube or Meta or whatever fucking Zuckerbot calls it, but that'll be interesting. Yes, I firmly believe in Coke over woke, by the way. As a sober person who will never touch this stuff, I prefer a coked up Hollywood over a woked up Hollywood. So Coke over woke for sure. Chet, thank you for the 99 cents. I appreciate it. Grim turned woke, werewolf, werefox, forbidden love as an LGBTQ metaphor. Ugh. Yeah, that's what it happened around that time where even like good shows by talented people like went to shit. Stone Dog 1971 for $5. Marvel Comics has to bring back the 80s character Scourge of the underworld to kill off all their woke characters including Kate Bishop, America Chavez. Yeah. Or just have Punisher kills the woke Marvel universe. Shit, I'll write that one. Sci-fi is life for $5. And thank you, Stone Dog 1971. For $5. Did you see Ruth Doctor is getting a Big Finish story? Was hoping for her to be 14. Were you? No, I was not. The reason they introduced Dr. Ruth, the first black female doctor played by Joe Martin, is so they wouldn't have to cast a black female as the 14th. She was a last-minute decision, so they wouldn't have to do that. That's what was behind the decision. And it made the Timeless Children worse, but they didn't care. Because now they can already say, well, there's already been a black female doctor. We don't need to do that. She's the first black female doctor. That's the games that they play. So they hired a woman strictly based on her race so she could be the first black doctor to keep from having to cast a black female doctor in the future. Now, if it happens, I wouldn't be surprised. It will effectively end Doctor Who, and Russell T. Davies knows it. Unless it's the greatest actress on the planet. There might be one out there. And it's the greatest writing on the planet. Could happen. Absolutely. Not saying it couldn't. But I have no problem with them taking like Romana, who could have regenerated into a black female. Just fine. No problem. Do a show with her. And keep the doctor a male. That's all I've ever asked for. It's like, why don't you just have a female Time Lady and a male Time Lord? And they could like Buffy and Angel. They can have two separate series and cross over once in a while and have big events and just make it well written and everybody will show up. Or they would have. Not sure now. Stephen Kinzek says, this may sound petty, but all the Marvel movies I am most disappointed in is the New Mutants film. I loved the old 80s New Mutants comic books. They were great. And they had genuine diversity, not this forced diversity of modern cinema. Yeah. I think the one thing I'll agree with Grace Randolph on is they never should have released that movie. It did more harm than good because, towards the end there, or for a little while there, for a year or two, it seemed like Fox had finally kind of cracked the X-Men. First Class was good. I like First Class quite a bit. I like Days of Future Past too, even though it's directed by a complete freak. Alleged Fredo. No convictions yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. I watched a video on it. Kit came out and admitted that they told him in season 3 John was going to kill the Night King. So it was originally planned that way. Yes, Dylan, Lindsay, you are correct. They specifically did say that. You are correct for $5. Thank you very much. Thanks for pointing that out. John, They set it up. The whole Hard Home episode was set. It's storytelling 101. They set up the Night King to fight Jon. It's not going to go down that way in the books because there's no Night King. Hell, Jon could become the Night King in the books. It's Jed Gary, LOL. Watch movie X. It's great. Get Bio for £2 British pounds. What's it about? Is it X? Is it about the band X? I like the band X from LA. It's a good band. Was a good band. Exene Cervenka. John Kozlowski for $5 Australian. Elon buying Twitter. Oh, wait, you get it. You're requesting a sound effect. You got it.
I'm going to come.
You got it. Nick Decker for $20. Hail, Gary. Life was just different in the past, right or wrong, but it is vitally important that we learn from our history instead of canceling or hiding it. Oh, and Disney support the grooming of children. Yes, they do. That is without a doubt. I know some people get very upset about that statement. There's not much I can do about that. Truth is truth. Sometimes it's upsetting. And it's hurting Disney. It's definitely hurting Disney. And the fact that there's people running interference for that one is a little mind-boggling, to tell you the truth. Like I tweeted the other day. And it's insane that we have to say things like this. It's absolutely fucking insane that we have to say the most basic shit like, hey, don't groom children. The fact that we're saying this stuff shows us how bad things have gotten. Doge to the moon, says Isaiah Trevino. It might. Hey, you Dogecoin people, congratulations. I hope you make a lot of money. I really do. I'm too old for Bitcoin. Maybe I'll figure it out someday. It just sounds like a whole new math that I don't want to learn. You need to reward. I know. By the way, a lot of people love it. And that's cool. You need to reward your good behavior. If Twitter goes back to free speech, then you should return. Otherwise, there's the incentive of people to do good. Jason Platten for $5. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, I would definitely wait and see if you've left. I wouldn't just rush back. Because, I mean, the same people are still there, right? Hamlet was inspired by that story. Yes, it was. The story the Northman is based on was the inspiration for Hamlet. I'm trying to figure out how to say your name because it is long. Oh, my God. Deus sympathetic estrator nullis. I'm only saying that once. Thank you for the $2. Crimson Eagle for $4.99. Gary, hail. I had 3 super chats on FNT. Didn't mean seemed to make it. Not sure why, but why not? One little out there wanted to say, but one a little out there. Oh, I don't care if they go out there. Crimson Eagle. You're free to go out there. I'm not going to take shit personally. You don't have to apologize. We get out there sometimes. It happens, man. But thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. I really do. Beetle Johnson for $2. Should Elon buy Google? Yeah. Google's going to cost a little more than Twitter, though. But yeah. Google has to be next. Google has to be next because, I mean, Twitter is small time compared to Google. But I will say this. YouTube is a much better cross-section of reality. Twitter is not a cross-section of reality. It is not real life. Like, you'll see some dipshit want to cancel Chris Pratt and get 186,000 likes, but there'll be 35 videos about Chris Pratt ain't going fucking nowhere and you can't cancel him that are going to get hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. And of those hundreds of thousands of views, 97 to 100% of the people are going to like those videos. So there's a huge, huge difference. Masters of the Nerddom for $5 says, I just ordered some Geek Grind coffee. Oh, hell yeah. And a Feathers of Liberty mug, all to enjoy the lamentations of the unhinged Twitter mob and more. Yes.
I'm going to come.
Oh.
Do not come. Do not come.
Giggles and Bits for $5 says, I love the Northman. I felt like I was watching classic cinema. Great pacing, acting, and story. Yes. I mean, it was like all overcast, and it was fucking cool as hell. Plus, Iceland, like, pretty cool place. I don't think I'd ever go there, but my wife loves it. She's been there twice. She's a big Bjork fan. Bjork was pretty good in it, too. Like, the part she played was very freaking cool. Twitter will be filled with hate and misinformation. Notice this isn't an attack on Musk. It's an attack on you and the average person. Sport Nugget for $5. Well stated. Very well stated. This has nothing to do with Elon Musk, just like it didn't have anything to do with Donald Trump. I'm sorry, did the attacks on you and I stop when Donald Trump wasn't in office anymore? No. No, they didn't. I mean, are articles not written on like little peewee entertainment sites calling yours truly misinformation? Misinformation. Without citing a single point of misinformation. If you're going to write articles on misinformation, especially in entertainment media where I am just stating my opinion, please point out where the misinformation is. I would love to hear it. I'll be waiting for a long time on that one. Misinformation. That would be, okay, to have misinformation for one, I'd have to be reporting news. If I'm reporting news, I'm usually reading off an article, but anytime I throw in my 2 cents, that's called opinion. That's editorializing. That is not me telling you the news, telling you something's a fact. CJ for $10. Thank you for the donation, CJ. I appreciate it. And in turn, what happens every time, right? So these channels and these sites that do go out, and by the way, if as Ryan has said in the past, as I have said in the past, if you need to go after me or Ryan or anybody to get your content, you're in a bad place. That's not a good place to be. We are not very good tools to use as content or ride coattails. It's just, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You'll build a community of 40 people who hate Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and Jeremy from the Quartering. The same 40 fucking people. So what? Who cares? And some people have done it for years, man, and just like have not evolved. It's like, okay, that's cool. But do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. But yeah, we could still never hear like why they like something. Strange. Like, hey, I love the Northman. Do I like the Northman because it was just filled with a bunch of white people? No. I like because it could have sucked. There's a lot of movies that are just filled with white people that suck shit. It was what felt like an accurate representation of something we don't see a lot anymore. And it did feel like a throwback a bit to when they made film in Hollywood and made art. And one of the major factors of the movie is it's cool. It's got a cool factor to it. And we just don't get a lot of, like, Fight Club, cool factor to it. Pulp Fiction, cool factor to it. Excalibur doesn't get fucking cooler than that. That's what we're missing from Hollywood. And quite frankly, it's the erasure of masculinity. Because all masculinity is toxic masculinity. We got articles written like, I want my son to reject masculine stereotypes. He's born a boy, so he's going to like certain things. It's chemical. It's chemical. Boys are going to like tractors. Not everybody. Some boys are going to like musicals. That's great. That's okay. But a lot of boys are going to like tractors and trucks and shit. That's great too. How about just let your boy be a boy? Let him figure it out. You can guide, keep him from bumping his head on a corner or, sticking something in a freaking light socket. That's parenting. Keep an eye on what he's doing, but let him figure shit out. The I'ma leave Twitter crowd are the same as the I'ma move to Canada crowd. No diss on you, Gary. I respect you guys. Oh, it's okay, Modalicious. I never took it as a dish. I love you, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the $5. Yeah, the same fucking thing, man. Same thing. They can't move. They're not going to move. That would require principles. Like my move to Texas, and I've said this before, but like it like hit me. I was just walking down the hallway in my new house here in Texas, and I'm like, I left California for political reasons. I'm like a dissident. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I did not see that coming in my life. Like an expat. Your video on top 5 murdered franchises was brilliant, says Sailor Mercury for $2. Thank you. I appreciate that. Perry is the best. Hey, I have a question. What is your opinion on the Daily Wire's movies and TV shows like the Hyperions? I haven't seen the Hyperions yet, Daniel Todd, although I was sent a screener. That's like they're the only people who've ever said, no, I've been sent a screener from Amazon, but it's just like YA shit that I would never watch. But I was sent a screener and I didn't watch it. So I'll watch it. But I didn't see Shut In because it's just not that kind. I'm not into that kind of movie, although I will support it. Terror on the Prairie looks fucking awesome. I'm going to watch that the minute I can see something. But maybe I'll watch them over the weekend. It just happened during the move. Thoughts on Raimi's Spider 3 director's cut? When I first saw that Sahil for £2 I was excited. And it's a little better. But it's Not a super well executed movie. I'm just going to say it. And Spider-Man 2 is second. I mean, after Superman, Spider-Man 2 is my second favorite superhero film. I love Spider-Man 2. I like Spider-Man 2.1. Have you seen that? That's even better. Extra footage. Agent Bossy, why are you super chatting, Agent Bossy Boots? You're just super chatting yourself. Unless it's somebody impersonating my wife, but I don't know. Was that you? She's in San Francisco right now doing hair. Hopefully she'll be able to leave. Have you seen the new trailer for Men by director of Annihilation? Looks like it'll be another smear on white men. Oh, if it's directed by the dude who did Annihilation, it will be. Let me guess. All men. I haven't seen the trailer yet. Should we see the trailer? Can we see the trailer without getting dinged? Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. It's A24. What is the breakdown? Men by A24 plot. No. That's not what I wanted to do. In the aftermath of a personal tragedy, Harper, Jessie Buckley, retreats alone to the beautiful English countryside, hoping to have found a place to heal. But someone or something from the surrounding woods appears to be stalking her. Men. So it's something that can shapeshift into different men that hunts her down. It's probably going to be that. Oh, you sent me a hot dog. Oh, thanks, babe. She sent me a hot dog. I didn't see it was a hot dog. That just makes me hungry for hot dogs. Thanks, so. Mrs. Nerdrotic's in the chat. Oh, boy. Hang on. We got to do this real quick. Nikao Yasha for $99. Uh-oh. I almost hit the wrong one. $99.99. I don't know why they are mad. Everything that we loved in entertainment got taken. And when we said something, it always was, it's not for you. Go and make your own. So I have no sympathy for any of these clowns if they said they don't like it. It's not for you. Go make your own. Yeah. I mean, this high road shit, there'll be a time for it. There is certain individual times for it, but you know what? You made the fans the enemy. How did they think it was going to work out? You don't fuck with the money. Is this new information to some people? I think it really is. I think there's some people who just woke up thinking nothing happened until they were born or nothing happened yesterday. I don't fucking know. Yeah, let's fuck with the fans. I got a great idea. Let's say it was the fans' fault. That'll work out great for us, man. It really will. You know what's easier, studios? You know what's easier? Just go, you know what? You're right. That one stunk. That was a stinker. That was a stinker movie. We're going to try better next time. But now it's like, it wasn't terrible. It was a modern classic. And we're going to now make something twice as woke next time. Take that, customer, paying customer. How do you like them apples? Paying customers like silence because they're gone. Watched Let There Be Carnage over the weekend, and I'm so happy I waited to watch it for free. What a dumpster fire! Had to dive into my Carnage comics to wipe that crap out of my brain. Hail to you. Have a great week. Bobby Brimstone for $50. Yeah. Like a 65-year-old Woody Harrelson as Carnage. Like, what the fuck? That was... I'm telling you, this was casting from 20 years ago. It's a movie made 20 years ago that they just had to finish up. Woody Harrelson is like 75 years old now. Thank you, Bobby. Something for the normies for $49.99. Hail, Gary. Sorry, this is off topic. Are you being serious? I don't have topics. But something I wanted to ask you is it okay to mention other content creators by name in videos? Thanks, and stay masculine. Yes, absolutely. I think some people might be like, I do it all the time, especially when like it's they broke something or you're using a term. I mean, not all the time, but like once in a while, throw it out there in a stream or the video. Yeah, I don't worry about that. If I see something and I like it, and that person gave out the information, then they deserve the credit. I think it's more than okay. I think it's more than okay. If there's like an attitude, I'm not saying this is your attitude, but if there's an attitude by some who are just so insecure and envious that they don't even want to mention another content creator because they're worried like, oh, I'll lose all my audience. Like, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Because they know it, they know they're there anyway. Or you might turn somebody on to something cool. You know, maybe somebody out there hasn't heard of the Critical Drinker, but they hear like me or somebody else mention it and they go find a Critical Drinker. Then they're just happy. That's good. It's good. But I'm like watching so much YouTube. I can't not mention people. Like, I watch them all the time. What was I watching earlier? I was napping earlier. What did I watch last night? I was watching some of The Dump, Sporking News podcast. I was watching that. Tobias Gregory for $20 Australian. Thank you, Tobias. Good morning, Gary, or morning, Gary. Still the 25th of April in the U.S., so thought it's an Aussie Kiwi Commonwealth thing. Could you please give a shout out to Anzac Day? What is Anzac Day? One of the first major battles Aussie forces fought in the Great War, lest we forget. Well, I will look it up and check out, and I'm shouting out, it's Anzac, right? Anzac Day for you Aussies. I don't know. Do you say, I doubt you say Happy Anzac Day. You probably just say, lest we forget. I like that. So there you go. I started wearing socks that don't match for luck. So far, it's working. Thunderstorm, it's all you. Now you are stuck. You cannot have matching socks. You just can't. You're committed, Thunderstorm. Thank you for passing, by the way. I think it's gone now. I haven't heard any thunder in a while. Friday, on Friday Night Tights, I'll be announcing the Vegas dates. I got so fired up for Vegas, I wanted to move it up 2 months after watching The Hangover. I'm like, I just want to go now. I just want to go now. Boy, can't. But Friday, on Friday Night Tights, I'm going to announce the Vegas dates. Vegas Meetup 2022 is happening. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Let's see what else. There's like nothing else going. I mean, like Twitter being bought by Elon Musk is enough, right? Is enough. Oh, okay. Oh, no, I can't say that yet. My next video will probably be Lord of the Rings. And then it'll be a Moon Knight review. What's funny, so many people were completely reeing by a couple of my female Thor. I think they kind of like go in tandem, right? So they ree about my female Thor thing, and then they go to Eric July and complain to him about him stating the fact that Miles Morales is Miles Morales. And then they just completely disappear. It's almost like, that's so weird that they're just gone. Okay, so I just got a tweet right here. There is no proof. Okay, he's being sarcastic. So I'm like, what? Oh, okay. So he's being contrarian? All right. There is no proof the Lord of the Rings will be woke. I won't say who it is on Twitter. There is no proof that Lord of the Rings will be woke. Yeah, there is. Absolutely. There was proof it was going to be woke before they even showed a picture of a face. Then there was the trailer. What did the trailer decide to focus on? What was its main focus? Who was the first and second person speaking? Actually, no, because it was Galadriel in the teaser. But it was, what's-her-face, Brandyfoot in the beginning of the trailer, the female hobbit. Why did they focus on a brand new made-up character when you are adapting Tolkien, and the first thing you want to do, even though they're not connected, is try to connect it as much as possible to the really successful greatest all-time trilogy? No, you want to do a soft fucking reboot. They want to give it the Force Awakens treatment. They want to do the Terminator Dark Fate treatment. There's all kinds of evidence that it will be woke. And I got news for you. It's going to be woke. It's going to have intersexual feminism. It's going to favor female characters over male characters instead of being egalitarian, which is how Tolkien writes, by the way. Instead of being egalitarian, they're going to be intersectional. Where's Celeborn? Like, not even a picture? Like, not even a picture. But we know about 5 original characters. 5. They have been named. They have been given descriptions. We even know what the show is going to be about. They came out and said it. There's going to be 5 storylines. 3 of them involve original characters. How prominent will it be? I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. Time will tell on that one. But I can guess. So there's all kinds of evidence that it will be absolutely woke, Mr. Person on Twitter. And that's not even getting into the people who are writing it. And I don't know. How did Wheel of Time turn out again? Could you remind me of that? Was pretty woke? They completely changed they diminished all the male characters. Yeah. The Boys. How did The Boys turn out? Pretty good first season. Woke as hell second season. What do you think the third season is going to be? Well, Eric Kripke, the showrunner, has come out and said that he can't wait to make fun of Trump some more. And it's going to be a study in toxic masculinity. That sounds fun. Can't wait for that. The wokies blame fans because they cannot take personal responsibility for their failures. No, they can't. They cannot create, only destroy. You are absolutely correct. Masters of the nerddom. That's why you're master of nerddom. Thank you for the $5. 5 Canadian pesos to Viking. Viking Insane, what's up? They should cast Kim Kardashian as a hobbit and make the South Park prediction come true. They should. Well, they came close. Well, not Kim Kardashian, but when South Park predictions start coming true, along with Alex Jones predictions, you know you're in a bad space. Bad space. Sorry, I got to refresh here. Oh, that's good coffee. Manowar 665, the neighbor of the beast on the donation side, says, I would not, could not in a boat, would not, could not with a goat. I will not use Twitter here or there. I will not use it anywhere because I have a penis and I am not 13 years old. As That's Manowar665 doing his best Dr. Deuce impression. Dr. Deuce, not Dr. Zeus. Well done, sir. Matthew Hammond for $10. You are going to like Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis whenever you start watching them, outside of the cringeworthy feminist line in the first episode by Samantha Carter. The two series are great. They poke fun at the line in later episodes. Okay. Hey, you guys didn't steer me wrong with Babylon 5, so I'm going to watch it. Okay. Going to give it a chance. Because of you. It is hard to believe that deciding factor for buying Twitter for Elon may have been that his favorite satirical site, the Babylon Bee, was banned from Twitter. Matthew Hammond for $5. Yeah, it's strange, but let me ask you this. And you're right, that is bizarre. How would the left have felt if the Republicans banned Mad Magazine in like the 70s or 80s? They would have fucking lost their fucking mind. I mean, there is an obsessive nature with them. Like Watergate was something we heard about forever. Movies made, documentaries made. The only thing we heard more about from this fucking generation, the baby boomers, was fucking Woodstock. Watergate. Blah, 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 blah. And Watergate is like fucking nothing compared to what has happened very recently. Now January 6th is their fucking Watergate. They're going to just fucking talk about it, not talk about the riots at all. Just answer every January 6th with the summer of 2020. Just every single time. WG for $100. Thank you, WG. Hail, Gary, you look like you could do with a big fat Texas-sized burrito. Please use this donation for just that, or 5 gallons of gas in this economy. All the best to you, sir. Oh, thanks. Hey, I'm in Texas. It's cheaper. That would be actually, 10 gallons of gas? Little over 10 gallons of gas, and I haven't asked my wife yet. Like, oh my God, is that a Jammy Dodgers, dude. That's not even fair. Like, I'm fasting, and Az is sending me pictures of Jammy Dodgers. Fuck you. I'm going to get you back for that. How much is gas? How much is gas in SF? It's probably a lot. I'm guessing it's a lot. Thank you, WG. I could eat a Texas-sized burrito, but not for 3 more weeks. Daniel for $20. Oh, she's getting back to me. Thank you, Daniel. Just got back from seeing the Northman. And the most important thing that hit me was I cannot remember the last time in a movie or anywhere that a woman told a man she would fully support whatever he decided to do. Did I hallucinate that movie? No, you didn't hallucinate. She hasn't fueled up yet. That's probably good. No, that's called a normal relationship. You know, because a man would say that to a woman too, right? So, but we won't hear it the other way. Yeah, that was, I mean, when that sticks out, that's how fucked up things are. Just this basic shit. And by the way, the Daily Mail cited that. I think the Daily Mail was kind of trolling on that. It had to be. It had to be. Because two of the examples they cited were basically loyal women. What, are you telling all women to be disloyal to men? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Daniel. I'm glad you enjoyed it. When was the greatest time for movies? If it was the 70s, if it is the 70s, this is only because this is when you grew up, or are there other reasons for it? I would still say the greatest time for movies was early 80s. I've been watching them since the 60s. The 50s and the 60s was not a good time. Now, back in the 30s and 40s, they were pretty interesting too. That's when they got started. They were very experimental. That's where noir came from. So there was that was a great era too, but I think the 80s was greater because they were trying more things. They had more access to stuff, and they were using their imagination more. And sometimes their imagination went way past what they were able to do, but they just did it anyway. They didn't care if it looked kind of bad. And that's why I fucking love it. So the 80s was the era of prosthetics, practical effects, crazy fucking movies like Dreamscape and Time Bandits. Like, you're not going to get shit like that right now, even though you could easily make it. You know, Time Bandits had to be funded by a Beatle. It's a great movie, by the way. Just fucking love that movie. And seeing it as a 12-year-old, it was just perfect. It was just perfect. I still say, late 70s, early 80s. I mean, just look at everything that came out between just 79 and 83 is enough. But yes, I might be a little biased because I was alive. I'll admit that. I'll admit that. I'll have my alive biased. Thank you, Matthew Hammond, for $5. Weston 487 for $5. Hail, Gary. Just bought Shadow of the Conqueror. Can't wait to listen to it after seeing Shad on Friday. Made me buy it. Shad is awesome, by the way. Thanks again for Shadversity coming on. That was a fun show. He was brilliant. And yes, Shad, right? He's a writer. He is creating new stuff. Please support his stuff. Shadow of the Conqueror. Shadversity. I have his book. It's in my bag, which I cannot reach right now because this room is a fucking mess. All right, we gotta wrap things up because it's time for me to eat my really pathetic meal of ground turkey with hot sauce. Very excited about it. Very, very excited about it. Code M01 for $10. Belated welcome to Texas. I'm north of Austin. Hey, so you're not that far from me. I'm south of Austin. I'm very healthy distance away from that freak show. Sorry, Austinians who are based and cool. I have no interest in moving to San Francisco again. So no, it was out in suburbia, American suburbia, fucking lawn, little backyard, people walking their dogs, neighbors who wave to you. I mean, it's not out in the country, but I needed my fiber. I needed my Google Fiber. Neighbors who introduce themselves. It's very cute. They got like neighborhood letters and shit. I'm eating it up. There's like garden clubs for the wife, or what if you're a dude, you're into that stuff. Yeah, loving it. Loving suburbia. Okay, I read that one. And thank you for the welcome, by the way. Yorazuya for $10 says, Hail, nice end of the workday stream is always nice. Thanks for always entertaining and keeping on. Oh, it's fun, dude. I'm having time of my life. I'm sorry if you're a dude. Dude is, I call my kids and my wife dude all the time. It's a California thing. So, yeah, I'm having the time of my life. This stuff doesn't like get me down. Like I'll watch a Picard and I just like, I'll wonder how things can get so dumb. And it can be perplexing, but I immediately get over it. And if I'm not going to enjoy the stuff they put out, I'll mock it. But like I'm not mocking it because it's just normal bad. There's normal bad. That's forgivable. At least normal bad is like, hey, some creatives got together. We tried. We failed. There was some studio interference. We lost a writer. One of our actors was fucking coked up for the whole thing. Whatever. It's hard to make a good movie. So normal bad is forgivable. Absolutely forgivable. I like some normal bad movies. Like a lot of them. Even one with Will Smith. But what's unforgivable is we're going to take this really great property and adapt it. And there's a story made for us that gives us a better chance. What does a coach always say in the sports ball? I'm going to do what gives us the best chance to win. Hollywood used to, we're going to try to make a movie that gives us the best chance to make money. Now, it's what will give us the best ESG score. That's what it is. Thor, Love and fucking Thunder. Just adapt Kirby. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Fuck everything. Just adapt Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. It's fucking great. Thor. Make it feel like Jack Kirby. Update the dialogue a little bit for Stan Lee, obviously. Just adapt that. Because that's better than cancer female Thor, who's probably not even going to have cancer in this. She'll walk to New Asgard, or whatever, like Thor's hammer broke. Can't remember where it was, on some cliff, right? And then she'll science it back together, and that's what made her worthy, and she'll just be the bestest ever. That's skipping past decades of great Thor stories. And I'm telling you, they don't get better than the Stan Lee Jack Kirby. They just don't. Kirby was practically, well, it's the Marvel method, so it's Jack Kirby's Thor. Okay. And it's fucking great. And that's all he wanted to do. So when he was going to DC in the Fourth World, that was all supposed to be Thor stuff. They killed Cap instead of recasting him, and they went right to All new, all different. Falcon Captain America. Can anybody remember a single fucking thing from a Falcon Captain America story other than he's Falcon Captain America? The answer of the vast majority of human beings on this planet is no. We don't even know what one story is about because they weren't even bothered. Nobody even bothered to regurgitate them. That's it. It was just a little gimmick that didn't work, that somehow Marvel thinks is going to work in the movies. Like, it totally failed in the comics and led to the death of the comic book industry, but it'll completely work out different from us. This is the size of these people. Yeah. Kevin Feige's like, don't worry, I got this. I'll figure this out. Yeah, sure, it failed and killed an industry, but I'm Kevin Feige. I don't fail, except he does. If the dude was smart, he would have retired after Endgame. Live long enough to become the villain. I digress. Moon Knight. What would have been the best chance for Moon Knight to be successful? To have Mark Spector be three kind of sides to a Chad, basically, or we're going to split three personalities, keep one completely secret. The one that's the more alpha is going to be in the background and get cucked constantly by the beta male who has been led around by a female. Is that the best chance to be successful with the Moon Knight show? I would say I would put Moon Knight in costume as much as possible, fighting fucking bad guys with Egyptian lore. That would probably be the best route to success. People didn't read Moon Knight to see fucking Stephen Grant sitting at a table talking about his feelings. They read Moon Knight to see this Marvel version of Batman who's kind of weird, kicking ass and shooting people with Uzis and shit. So that's where the failures come in. What would have been a better decision? Maybe focus the movie on Han, Luke, and Leia and slowly introduce your characters for a next series? Or better yet, let's just do Solo. We'll focus one on each one to be basically your clickbait to get you into our new characters. That'll be so much better. What's the best chance? What's the best road to success with that? Obviously, it's focusing on Han, Luke, and Leia. It's focusing on the superhero of Moon Knight. It's focusing on the superhero of Thor. Those are your best chances for success. And they're not taking them because of their woke ideology. Welcome to Texas. I moved to Littlefield almost a year ago. Excellent. Where'd you move from? There's a lot of people moving here. It is, Texas is boomtown. I'm sure Florida's the same. But it's fucking boomtown. Thank you. Dabaroot, my fellow Texan. Dan C. for 10 British pounds. It will be interesting if Elon exposed the criteria Twitter was previously using to boot people off. That would be great. And I won't bet against him doing something like that. There's probably some proprietary classified bullshit, blah, 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 blah. But if you own you can pretty much do whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. So yeah, if anybody's like, oh, you're just afraid of women and just go, no. I've read the comic books and there are stories that they're not adapting that would make them more money. It would be more successful. They would have more successes like Spider-Man No Way Home that are just feel good movies, which is what people want to do when they go to a movie for the most part. Especially a superhero movie. That's what people want to do. They want to see heroic shit. But instead, they absolutely insist on inserting a Layla character in the Moon Knight, who, by the way, I'm glad the actress got the role. She brings absolutely nothing to the table, acting-wise. Zip. Compared to Oscar Isaacs, she's like out of her fucking league. And he's not even doing that great in this, to be honest with you. Because, yeah, Stephen Grant, like, I want him to die. I can't stand that character. But that'll be the character going forward. That'll be fun. Huh? No, it won't. Victoria Von Doom. CM, yes, there will be Victoria Von Doom, and the Fantastic Four will look like a PBS after-school special. Take it to the bank. Enoch Beaumont for $10 donation. You're not worth avenging, Father. You'll save your mother. A strong woman who will kill Fjolnir. The Northman if it was made by Lauren Hissrich instead of Robert Eggers. Ooh, that's a good one. Absolutely right. Yeah, she was the wrong person to give The Witcher to. Absolute wrong person to give The Witcher to. Witcher will be canceled by third season. Or it gets a very shortened fourth season, but I'll stick to canceled after third season. Too expensive, not enough people are watching it. I guarantee you not enough people are watching it now for the price tag. That was an expensive fucking show. And Netflix doesn't have money to burn anymore. Poor Jeff Smith got burned with bone again. He got boned on bone. Thanks. Brett Tesdale said, Hail, Gary became a channel member today and just ordered a pack of Geek Grind Nerdrotic Blend K-Cups. The better than D cups, K cups. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate it. Thank you for $5. Hail, Geek Grind Coffee. Noriko Takaya for $5. A movie from the 80s that's so bad it's good. TerrorVision. Definitely not woke. Yeah. There's a lot of shitty, great movies from the 80s. Because they at least tried to have fun. They tried to have fun. The 80s were fun. The 90s were fun. The early 2000s were fun. I mean, they used the word retarded and the retard in The Hangover, which is great. Because it's just a fucking word. That's all it is. It's just a word that only has power if we give it power. Okay? I like D cups too, Chris, but I mean, I'm just saying K cups. All right, folks. I really thank you all watching. I think the Modrotics did double duty today in the premiere for the video, and anybody who left a super chat donation, I really, really do appreciate it. If I did miss a couple, we're going to try to move those to X-Ray Girl, move them to next Nooner, which will be at noon on Wednesday with Chris Gore and probably Quarter Black too. And then the real BBC tomorrow on Az's channel. Yes, it's Az's channel tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Central time, 1 p.m. Eastern. And I have no idea what time in the UK. It's daylight savings time with Mahler and Nina Infinity, who I totally missed her Northman review. I didn't realize that till this morning, and I meant to be on that, so I owe her a live stream. So just released a video today. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. It's our first attempt at evergreen content. Perry and Quarter Black did a bunch of work on it. It was like a team effort, absolute team effort. So thanks to my crew, who are amazing, and thanks to all of you out there. And I will see you in the next one. So remember, not all who wander are lost, and may the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
Nerdrotic.com.
$50 super chat from Enochmamon. Let me bring down the outro a little bit. Hey. Enochmamon for $50. Here's your word of the day, Gary. Inconsequential definition. Not important or significant. Used in a sentence. After the last word in FNT, all other words seem inconsequential. Hail Enochmamon. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Enjoy Elon White Pill Day.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.